Okay, good evening everyone, and we're around the campfire once again to do some lovely campfire cooking. My name's Sugi Yamaga, and I'm just a regular guy VTubing my slow life hobbies in my 30s. And we're gonna be doing some campfire cooking tonight. So, on one hand, I'm very excited for these wonderful, wonderful, delicious buds I get to work with because, yeah, it's actually been a whole calendar month since I've harvested these guys on stream a little while ago, and yeah, I don't think it was until Sunday that I actually took some of these potatoes and I actually cooked with them. I just made some like standard skillet potatoes, like just kind of like stir-fried in the skillet. That's usually how I like to eat my potatoes, so I don't mind a good baked potato, and I'm also certainly a fan of potato skins. Especially, I gotta say, potato skins are an absolute fabulous appetizer at restaurants. So that is our main agenda. Ah, good evening, Dad's old chop. How you doing? How you doing? I hope life's treating you well. Life's treating me well. But yeah, as always, we're gonna get started off with some tea. Herbal tea, specifically, because, well, I would like to go to sleep after stream. And I cannot be having caffeine this late. Because I am... How do the people say? Old? Well... not young anymore? Yeah, we're almost at the weekend! It is. We're almost there. I am personally very excited for it. I really wish... I was a little bit, we were a little bit closer to the weekend, but well, actually, no, I wish I wasn't on call this weekend. That's what it is. Because I'm on call. And that's the reason why stream's starting at this hour, because, well, this is when, 7 is when my on-call ends. So I can hit go live at 7 and not worry about anything coming in. Now, if the weather was nicer, I wouldn't be... That's just part of the working life, man. I have hobbies and I gotta fund them. Which, I mean, honestly, I'm personally fine with. I mean, I just gotta... I mean, it's not like I gotta be on call like week after week or anything, so it's only once every 3 weeks in my company, so it's like 1 week, so it's like 2 weeks on call and then 2 weeks off. Also, things have gotten better at the company because apparently in the earlier days, on call would last longer. Like it would be like till 8 or 9, and well, I think the reason they stepped back on the length of the on-call period is just the calls we just don't get as many after-hours calls as we used to, so thank you, reliability of modern HVAC systems. Whew. Okay. I thought I pulled that kettle off early enough. Oh, that, yeah. My wife gets a weekend shift once per month, which is what I'm covering this weekend. Ah, okay. Yeah. If it's infrequent, it's pretty fine. But I think with the way my personal schedule is going to go, I will probably only be doing one stream next week because I will be actually traveling to attend a concert with family I have not seen in 2 years. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, we've got quite a bit of... I'm definitely a little bit on the hungry side. Also, I picked this this griddle skillet at the Crozier's about at least a month ago. That sounds like, yeah, well, I'm actually gonna, so one, I'm seeing family I haven't seen in 2 years, and second off, I'll be seeing. I'll get to go back to my high school years because I'll be seeing Blink 182. So Sugi will experience some serious nostalgia from the good old days. And also, we'll be kind of like out of town for me. So, and it's all so it's actually taking place in Indianapolis, and I haven't. It's a wild that it's. Oh gosh, don't say it's classic rock, sir. Please don't. I don't want to feel my age like that. Not like that. Oh gosh, Blink 182 being classic rock. Oh, that was not on my bingo card for today. But yeah, we're actually gonna get trying to get the bacon opened up because we're gonna get started with bacon because I did do a little bit of recipe review, and the baked potatoes apparently have to cook for an hour. So we're gonna get the bacon going. Because also, if I get the bacon going, then I can help myself to a little bit of a snack while I'm waiting for my potatoes to cook. I did have some chips and salsa when I got home from work because it has been quite some time. Well, I had a real light lunch today, so I really wanted to make sure I had at least a little bit of food in me before I started streaming. Because when I got home today, I was really hungry. So, let's see here. Now, originally, I was thinking of cutting this bacon, but because I've had like longer strips, this stuff seems reasonable. Here. Yeah, it fits. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I don't have to bother with scissors. Well, I will bother with scissors. Look, Herbert had a baked potato joke. You just throw a potato in the oven just in case you wanted a baked potato in a few hours. Yeah. At least that's the thing with, like, I think the potato skins will cook up in like 45 minutes. In some ways that's a kind of a good throw, in other ways that's kind of a not good throw. Is a little divided on that. Let's see here. So let's see if we can't. Oh, hey now. Don't be sticky. Please don't be sticky. Whoa, you're sticky. You're really sticking. Maybe I should have seasoned this better. Or, well, actually just seasoned it. It seemed okay. Ooh, this might get exciting. And I might have a chore to do later in seasoning this griddle. Because it seemed reasonably seasoned. There we go. Sweet, sweet, glorious bacon. I'm sure it'll resolve when it renders out a bit. Yeah, that's my hopeful expectation. Hopeful. Blind hope is what keeps me. Well, I try not to consider myself like too blind with hope, because, well, hope's a very important thing to have in the world, because, well, the world just wants to be terrible sometimes. So, yeah. But that's part of what this place is for. Be a bit more optimistic, especially about food. Food is a very optimistic thing. But yeah, I have actually kind of noticed when the GoPro gets digitally, and I think I might actually at some point invest in a media mod. I actually got in like homestead news, I got my new water heater in Monday. So with that, I put some of it on the credit card, but I had most of it. I had the better part of it come out of pocket. And once I take a look at how my finances settle out after this month, I'll probably get a media mod for the GoPro, because right now, because so far of all 3 cameras I've used for streaming, the GoPro's been the crispest, and I've been very happy with it. To the point where I'm willing to tolerate it being weird. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, that's... Ooh, yeah, that's a thing. That's a thing. That's a thing. That is a very real thing. The very real thing is, my heat is very uneven. I have a whole lot of heat here, not a lot of heat up here close to me, so I'm gonna do good old classic cast iron turn. While not being like too particularly graceful about it, because, well, there's nothing really particularly graceful about me. But that's fine. That is fine. I gotta say, in the overall, today has been like a really amazing day for me. So I'm very optimistic the positivity will continue on, because I actually had a VTuber, another VTuber, his name is the Nando. He actually reached out to me today and asked me to potentially someday do a collab around the campfire. Like, we both do like a campfire cooking thing. And he was very nice, and I was very flattered that he liked the silliness that I do. So I'm very much looking forward to that when the time comes. I have no idea. He says he's got to get some stuff set up on his end, and I told him I will do my best to help him make things fire resistant, because sheet metal helps. Because boy, oh boy, does this get hot sometimes. Weather's been nice on the, well, recently it's been more on the nice side. Unfortunately, the heat is starting to turn up, and I think tomorrow, for where I'm at, I'm probably going to see some 90s, and I'm not looking forward to 90-degree temperatures. Yeah. Oh wow. Come on, bacon. Play nice, play nice, play nice. Please, 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 please. Come on. Your delicious bacon. My goodness gracious, there's just a lot of fat in this stuff. Ooh. Switch tools. Hey now. It's not how you be an all-star. There we go. There we go. And hello, fire, for making your presence known in my face. Fire's mad at me, I swear. It's like, oh man, bacon grease? Bacon grease? I get to have bacon grease today? Man, Subi, why didn't you tell me that? Well, I'm not going to tell you that. I'm a VTuber. I talk to Chad, not to a fire. Like, you gotta limit the crazy, man. And that frees that slice up. Switch. Turn. Can I get a flip? Can I get a flip, please and thank you? Ooh, yeah. That's what I'm looking for from that spot. There we go. Goodness gracious, there's just going to be an absolute puddle of bacon grease. I'm really debating whether or not I just want to like take it and just straight wholesale dump it into the cast iron skillet. I don't think I'll get that vicious with it though. Ooh, okay. Man, I got considerations to consider. And I think I will go ahead and while this bacon's finishing up, go ahead and start grabbing me some of the aluminum foils. So I've got 6 potatoes. Man, I actually have to be careful with this stuff because this stuff is very reflective. I normally don't worry about reflections, but this is very reflective. Also, since these are my homegrown potatoes, they're a little bit on the smaller size. So, and for scale, good, like 4 inches, 2 inches thick. They'll be good. So I think these might cook a little bit quicker. But we'll see what the end result is. Granted, would that make them better? Sorry, I was entertaining the idea of maybe taking a little bit of this overflowing amount of bacon grease I have and adding it to the foil, but I don't think I'm going to get that fancy with it. We're just going to bake it, and then we're going to throw some fixins at it once these are done in quite some time from now. I think this one, I didn't have as much room of foil. We'll do like that. Okay. Clip, clip. I'll do the first bit of bacon. That's looking pretty good. The other 2 bacons. Bacon grease hurts, man. Bacon's tasty, but man, does the grease hurt you sometimes. Tea's coming along wonderfully. Tea's wonderful. So, I'm trying to also kind of eye where I want to set these potatoes to bake, because I want them to be in a warm spot, but not. Come on, Sugi, don't be eating. Okay, I think that's tolerable. We have a good cooking spot. Granted, I am going to have that spot back there where you see the flames right now. That's where I gotta get my coals from for when we do the skins. I don't want to get my coals from there, man. Okay. Here, fire. Here, fire. Get some bacon grease. And which actually last time. Was it when I did the okonomiyaki? I think it was when I did the okonomiyaki. I actually really like over-fried them. But I gotta say, like, this seems like reasonably picture good bacon. I mean, I look at this and I would like to eat that eventually. Not sure when that's going to occur though. So now let's go ahead and grab spud number 1, and I think what we're going to do is I'm going to just set it down in there. I'm going to set it in between the 2 logs, kind of further away from all that heat, just because I don't want to ultra bake them. Don't want to do that as an undesirable outcome. I think there's a pretty good amount of heat there for them to bake. So, sorry chat, but your bacon's gonna have to disappear for a little while. It will come back, I promise. So, I now gotta move on to the next step. And I need to grab my handy dandy Tupperware container. No, that's too ambitious. I shouldn't do that. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Wait. Man, I gotta get a few things. I gotta get you. And I gotta get some spuds. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start working on prepping potatoes for the skins. So for the skins, all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna have them for the first stage of prep. I gotta say these. I gotta say, the russet potatoes I grow, they don't get like super big like supermarket ones, but man, they seem to do pretty all right. Like the flesh is nice and firm to them. Okay, and then with that, what my container here is for is I'm going to take a nice metal spoon here, and then I'm going to eat into the flesh. I'm going to try and scoop as much as this, well, not as much, but I'm trying to make myself a little bit of a, essentially what is going to be a cradle, or the place to hold good stuff, like bacon, onions, and cheese. So I at least want to have a good 1/4 inch of material to it. And I think I do all the fixings after I cook these, so. Okay. And the reason why I have the Tupperware container is I want to save all, because I was thinking about doing mashed potatoes as well, because then I would be doing like potatoes three separate ways. However, though, I felt like that was a little bit on the ambitious side for today's stream, considering this is like an on-call night for me, and I'm also kind of starting to stream later than what I usually do for the weekday ones. So I wanted to be cautious. So I'm only making potatoes 2 ways versus 3. But I don't believe in wasting food, and that's what this Tupperware container is for. So I don't waste food. Ooh, did I go? Yes. Confirm. Oi! Snap, crackle, pop. Don't be like that. Hey, no. When you get snap, crackle, and poppy, that's when I get coals on stuff I don't want coals on. Like my clothes. Was that I almost want to say that was the, I don't know if that was Japanese maple or not. Actually, it might have been Japanese maple. I think that was the one where I had some really fun tech issues. So far, really the only worst thing around here was the OBS didn't like picking up my wearable mic, and I literally just had to go into the settings and be like, hey, source this mic, please, and thank you, and it fixed it. So one slight tech issue, well, which is nice considering historically things around here have been a little bit rough as of late, and it's kind of hurting a desire to have a better experience for people. But hey, gotta keep it positive. even when the tech wants to melt down. Okay, cool. And you know what? I didn't cut through a single one of these, which was one of my concerns. That was one of my concerns when I was going through this, was like, I don't want to cut through my potatoes. I don't want that outcome. Okay, so I'll just set that over with the bacon. And then for my, so these will get consumed at a later date, to be determined by this feller. And for now, you can go there. Miss my tea. Okay, now it's time to get a little wild here. A little wild and squirrely, because what's gonna happen next is shovel time. Actually, can I do that? Ooh, I like that, I like that, I like that. And then if I can do this, and then I can do that. Ooh, yeah. That's what I want. It's hot. That's what I want. That's the good stuff I want. Okay. Come to me, my oven of cast iron. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'll be happy with 6 potato skins. That'll be pretty good. Okay. So, what I need to the sweet, sweet vulnerabilities I have. Okay. Shovel time. And off over to the side. And a little bit of a tap tap. Hold up by a little bit more. We'll just grab that guy. Just grab that one guy right there. There you go. Okay. So that'll give us. Do I? Oh. Ooh, I've made foobard myself. Ah! I caught that now, not later. Thank goodness. Oh, hey. Good job, me, buddy. Ugh. But yeah, I got my, when I turned that log over, I got it really close to my baked potatoes I got sitting in there. Got it really close. Hey now, I'm trying to save my potatoes from baking more than they should. They are at least a greater distance away. Oh, yo. Okay, so leave my skins there. As you can see, one of them is reasonably close to fire. Okay. And here is Dutch Oven Koon. Now, before I add these fillers in, I'm gonna hit it with some good old Kirtland olive oil. And the purpose of the olive oil is to help just give myself a little bit of a non-stick surface. Which honestly, I could ruin perfectly good paper towel. Or I could just ruin a perfectly good finger for a little while until I rub it on a paper towel. So let's get a nice even coating. Something like that. There we go. Wonderful. And that's gonna go there. And we'll go ahead and we'll start adding in our skins. We'll keep these kind of far apart. Make sure they don't spend too much time getting crispy with each other. Don't want that. Don't want any of those shenanigans to occur. Oh yeah. And of course, sweet joys of Dutch oven technology and it being so freakishly heavy, which also helps it freakishly hold heat well. Okay. Foot. And reasonables. Ugh, that's reasonables. Okay. Time for Shovel Kun. And all of Shovel Kun's mighty glory. Oh yeah, look at that. Actually, get that around. But yes, glorious coals. And then if I miss the lid, then the coal basically gonna get a bit yeeted closer to where I don't want that. Now, let's see here. I'm gonna go for a pretty good amount of coals. I don't think I have a whole lot going on here. That's the thing with, I'm also not really going to be doing much of the temperature monitoring, simply because I'm a little bit more comfortable just throwing a good amount of coals at this and just letting it do its thing for a while. I'm going to come down in here and I'm going to play with my fire in such a way kind of get the baked potatoes down there a little bit further away from unnecessary levels of action. Ooh, can I hook this? Not by myself. Actually, I can't. Nope, that's not the right glove. Sugi, you've been here, you've done this, and you know the results. You know the results, buddy. And you've gotten bad results when you've done that. Remember your past mistakes. Woo! Man, isn't it so cute that some people actually are afraid of grease fires when they're cooking? Grease fires just help get the wood going a little bit more, don't you know? Okay. So we're now actually gotten a fair amount of our prep done. Quite a fair amount of our prep. I can actually hold off on that for a little bit longer. Just we're gonna have that hang off to the side for now. Yes, to the side for now. Then I think what I'm gonna do here is reintroduce Baking Cam. So I'm just gonna hit this with a little bit of pepper. Now, ideally, these are good crumbly bits of bacon, and I gotta do some quality control on the bacon. Oh yeah. That is good bacon. Wow. That's actually really good bacon. I'm really happy with that. Real good stuff. A+. Okay, now. Also, one of the things I did to the GoPro is I did turn down the brightness on the screen. Well, on the display screen from my side of the world. That actually helps me. I'm hoping that gets me a little bit more battery life out of it. Because it'll be pretty dicey if it... Well, during the last stream, the Lego Handcam, that one... I think I was below 10% battery when I ended stream. Which was a little too close for comfort for this guy. I don't like to be that close. Yep. Bacon's just amazing. I don't know why. It's the only pork product my body can handle. But I don't need to ask why. It's just bacon. Okay, and with that, yoink. Oh. I missed the garage garden, which I need to think about that actually, because so I've got lettuce in the garage garden, and it's coming up quite nicely. Like with this recent turn of weather, it's been doing really well. Definitely looking forward to getting some salads out of it this upcoming weekend, which actually getting mid-September, and I probably also should concern myself at some point with starting the rest of my fall stuff, because I do want to get some more. I want to get some more basil going. I want to see if I can get one last flush of basil, just to dry and have. Because right now I've got plenty of other basil. Whoop, whoop. There we go. There you go, cast iron tea Kelly. Relax down there. But yeah, I need to get more basil and lettuce going for fall. And then I also need to consider so the thing is, if I want to do garlic, which personally, I am a fan of the garlic. I am a huge fan of everything in the onion family, which I do have some. I got some. These are my Japanese green onions that I planned this year. So these are going to be part of the fixins for the wonderful spuds. Once the spuds are done, I think I have quite a way to go for that. There we go. Like, bacon's kind of crispy, but kind of soft too. A+. Man, life's good. Life's good. I should put that down. I should put it down before I get too much dead air. Granted, I should not be fearing the dead air. Dead air should fear me. Okay, so I'm reasonably happy with the level of coals I have, which, granted, it's been cooking for a little bit. So, actually, I need to stand up. Let's see if I can get a good center. Turn. So I turned it that way. Then for the lid. Don't do that. If I crack the lid, I let all the heat out. Undesirable. I think this potato should be reasonably good down there. Oh yeah, lots of heat down there. Maybe almost too much, actually. Yeah. Oh wait, I could do that. I had... Oh, that's why I couldn't find that tool. It was underneath my platform. That's why I couldn't find it. So what I'm going to do down here is a lot of my heat's coming from one area. I'm just going to give these a spin. Just so that way they can kind of cook a little bit evenly, since I don't have heat coming at them from all the sides. And if I set you there, I can't forget you. Hello! Hello, Kuma. Right now, snacking on bacon. Waiting for potatoes to cook. Got skins in the Dutch oven. Salutations! What you taking, bacon? Just delicious protein. Delicious protein. Mostly because, one, I need this for as fixins for the skins, and it will be good on the baked potatoes. I'm on the wrong account. Well. And that's fine. But yeah, since I'm snacking on bacon, and I have, well, admittedly, I have time to kill, because I was not anticipating the potatoes taking very long to cook, but they do take quite some time to cook. So, we're going to go ahead, slowly and carefully. So cool that you can stream like this. It took work. It took quite a bit of work. I've had, like, it's funny because I actually had like another VTuber reach out to me today about doing Campfire cooking collab, and like, I'm pretty sure like all VTubers, well, you're doing an amazing job. Well, practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. But yeah, if you think doing standard streaming and having to do troubleshooting is hard, troubleshooting does get harder if you have smoke billowing into your face. Just a bit of a FYI. It does not get easier. But yeah, I do this because I like this. Well, just because I was like, you know what, I want to watch a VTuber do this. Actually, I'm gonna rip that label off. Also, this bacon is a proud product of Canada. I actually really like this bacon because it's actually reasonably short, and the good thing about the short bacon, it actually fits on the griddle fairly well. I was actually worried I was going to have to cut it. And ha! Yes! Really nailed the last one. Now I need to rub a sweet, sweet, wonderful bacon grease off my fingers. But yeah, doing this was lots of troubleshooting and also lots of various heat shielding. Well, this is a heat shield for me. Hot take, bacon is... I mean, so, a bit of a personal fact about me is I generally... most forms of meat I dislike. Just intrinsically I dislike. I have never liked chicken once in my life. I've had chicken several times in my life, but every time I've had chicken, I've never cared for it. Any other pork product than bacon, I don't care for it. Granted, actually, it's kind of worse, because if I have like pork or ham, my GI, I don't get like really bad GI stuff, but my body's just like, we don't know how we feel about this food. And then I can eat beef. I can eat beef, and I can eat deer. Beef, deer, and bacon are the primary meats I can eat. Now, strangely, I can also do a hot dog. But if I do a hot dog, I prefer a hot dog with no fixings. I have just been an exceedingly picky eater with meat, and the fact I can eat bacon and actually like the experience kind of makes it a novelty item. I've been camping once and never again. I would say the thing with camping, it depends on how well prepared you are, because if you're underprepared, and if the season's winter, you're going to be miserable. Like, there was one year where me and my dad went camping with the Scouts, and it was a winter that was like, because I think we did this camping trip in like February in North America, and it was cold. It was for the Boy Scouts. No one knew how to cook. I had to cook for 50 people, and the Scout leaders or whatever weren't allowed to help. Oh man, that is terrible. Yeah, but that's also another. That's kind of one of the like. I understand like part of the point of the Scouts is to like help youngsters develop independentness and skills, but especially if you're doing something like cooking at scale, like you really need a seasoned hand for that. I had to do that for a week. Yeah, that will certainly turn people off from the experience. I don't blame you for that. As for me, I've kind of been a weirdo all my life and never super fit in with like my Scout troop, so I eventually dropped out right after, yeah. Because I actually started out as a Tiger Cub, which is like the lowest level of like youngster. I think Tiger Cub's like a first grader maybe, and then it's like Tiger. I think it's Tiger Cub, Bear Cub, Wolf Cub, and then I want to say you're Weeaboo. It's not Weeaboo. Weebelow. Yeah, you're a Weebelow for like 2 years, and then after you graduate, and then after that you graduate and get what's called the Arrow of Light Award, which is the highest award in Cub Scouting, and then you go from being a Cub Scout to an actual like quote unquote proper Boy Scout. And this bacon's gonna get burnt if I too much. But I was a Boy Scout for I think 2 years, and one of the great jokes and irony of who I am and all my friends is every single person who knows me personally in life swears up and down that I actually am an Eagle Scout, and I am nothing of the sort. I never made it that far. I never made it that far in scouting. Not even close, because I think I made the first rank up in Boy Scouts, but I didn't go a level past that. Was my experience in the Scouts. But yeah, I can actually kind of agree with that. Bacon actually needs a little bit something more. I think I'll hit it with. Well, I hate to admit what I'm gonna do to this, but my body doesn't have to know what my eyes know right now. I can lie to myself. I'm an American. We lie to ourselves all the time. I heard the crunch. Yeah. Yeah. At least I didn't, like, burn it. Because what? No. I was cooking leftover bacon from the okonomiyaki stream, and I burnt that. Let's see. We'll have you just chill over there. Gets a little bit more fire view going. Glove off. But I'm gonna also keep the fire kind of on the low side because, well, pretty sure even with the fire low, there's still plenty of heat to bake those 2 baked potatoes down there. Okay. I think it's been a while. I need to give that Dutch oven a turn. So if you excuse me, I gotta get up for this. Do that, and come on, a little bit more. There we go. Ugh. But yeah, one of the fundamental things of cooking with a Dutch oven is the coal heat is very uneven, and you always want to do turns on both the up. I thought you were a Canadian. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, I'm a red-blooded American. I'm south of the border. I don't have enough health care to be eating this, but I do so anyway. Really tasty. Man, that last one actually had quite a good bit of flavor. Mmm. The only way I like bacon is in hot pot? Ah, hot pot, okay. Granted, I've never had enough hot pot. Because I've like went out with friends for hot pot, I think twice in my life. Yeah. And I don't think bacon was ever offered as like any of the things you can cook in the hot pot. I love hot pot. I know a lot of people are big fans of hot pot. I actually, for last year's Christmas, I did hot pot over the campfire. And I would say it was a solid alright. With the sole exception for the fact that I got like I got one of the real spicy like hot pot mixes. And I was just like, this is good. Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was spicy and it had a ton of fat in it. Which I'm pretty sure I can just leave that brick of stuff in my cupboards and it will just be good forever. I live deep in the woods, isolated from the world, so I need to do a lot of things on my own. Oh, okay, cool. I'm a suburbanite degenerate, and my neighbors don't like me because I grow food in my front yard. Yeah, hot pot's winter season food. Yeah, I'm actually I'm also sitting on a recipe for potato soup that I would really like to do at some point once we get into a little bit more actual proper like weather for it. Because right now it's still a little toasty. It's not so unbearably hot to the point where I can't do this, because one of the big reasons why August was a lot of Stardew Valley streams was simply due to the fact that there was no way. Potatoes are delicious no matter. Yes. Yes. Potatoes are amazingly delicious no matter how you make them. And they're also really good at picking up flavor from things you cook them in. Granted, I mean, I consider myself pretty boring with how I like my potatoes, mostly because I really like skillet frying them. Because one, it's quick and easy. Two, it's very easy for me to add onions to it because I'm a big fan of onions. Granted, I did skillet potatoes a little while ago, and I added tomatoes to it as well. So I had like potatoes, onions, tomatoes all in the skillet, really cooked up nicely. Turned out really well. One of the weird things I will do, potatoes went from peasant food to one of the most beloved foods. Yes. I mean, fat and oil can do amazing things. Plus salt. Like, granted, potatoes were also really looked down upon in Europe when they were first introduced because they are in the Solanaceae family. And if you don't know what the Solanaceae family is, it is the family of plants that deadly nightshade belonged to. And when Europeans first saw this stuff, they're like, oh no, we are not a fan of this. Ooh, potato pancakes. I don't think I've made those, but I might have to add that to the list though. Because I mean, I'm always looking for like new things to like cook. That's actually another. So I do this for many reasons, but another one of those reasons is I do this to expand my recipe set, which I have expanded my recipe set so much since I started this, and I've also had like people come in and like give feedback on like different things, and it's been one of the nicer aspects. It's really easy. I just make a big batch and fry it up whenever I want some. Okay, so it's one of those things you can like prep ahead of time, and then you can just fry it up. Because I think one of the potato skin recipes I had, actually, wait a second, I'm curious. I know I emailed the baked potato recipe. I'm not sure if I had the recipe for... No, I didn't actually. Okay, so I didn't put a recipe link in the description. Okay. But I know the recipe, well, the recipe I found for the skins suggested you can prepare them ahead of time, freeze them, and then you can just like heat them up in the microwave whenever you want some. Which I haven't gotten that ambitious with food prepping. I'm not the... Freezing is a very powerful food preservation tool. I have used it to preserve a fair number of blackberries I grew this year, and boy oh boy, do I sure do love me a good frozen pizza. But I'm also not the biggest fan of frozen food. Granted, I will say, if you're looking for some veg that you just want to like have on hand and you occasionally want to use some vegetables for like a stir fry or something, frozen is a great way to have corn, peas, carrots, even potatoes. Potatoes are actually really good frozen. To just have veg on hand, and then you're able to like bust it out whenever you need some. Okay, it's been a little bit. I'm gonna give these guys a turn, mostly because all my heat's coming from this area of the world, and I want to make sure those cook evenly. Then let's flip up. Yeah. say it's reasonable. It's reasonable. But yeah, I don't know. I don't have the most overflowing abundance of thoughts. I have like an industrial freezer for that reason. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, I suppose if you do live deep in the woods, it's actually just good to stock up on groceries, and then you're able to like head out and, well, then you have like a reserve you can pull food from. Oh, because I have 2 standard size fridges in my home, and honestly, that's like enough freezer space for me. Granted, I have gotten pretty close to in the past of really filling it up, particularly with frozen pizzas, and also, what was it? Oh yeah, last year, I juiced and froze a ton of tomatoes. This year, tomato growing has absolutely destroyed my butt. And by destroyed my butt, I mean I've had squirrels taking way too many tomatoes from me. So I've lost so many tomatoes over the summer, but for some reason the squirrels recently have lost their taste for them. Now, part of that might be so one of the builds I did was a bird feeder, and I've got that set up now. And I have it set up in a way squirrels can't get to it. But the birds do not feed off the feeder, and I have been seeing squirrels utilize the feed that's on the ground, so I'm okay with that. If the squirrels are just getting to the stuff on the ground, that's fine. But I did have to chase squirrels off the top of the feeder a couple of times when it was in a different spot. Granted, I've since moved it, and the squirrels have seemed to have given up. And to which I say good. That is good. Now, I am getting somewhat further along. So, let's see here. I need to just... Nah, I don't have to waste scrap for this. What I want to do. You hang out. Okay. So, I've got some of these. These are hishiko. They're actually a variety of bunching green onion native to Japan. I bought these from my seed catalog on a whim. I gotta say, I have been an absolute fan of these guys. And primarily for, even in like freezing temperatures, this stuff stays green. So, since we have a little bit of time here, I'm gonna work on just slicing and dicing these up, and I'm gonna just let them hang out on my plate here. Aaron groundhogs are always raiding my veggie garden. Oh no. Okay, so with groundhogs, with me and groundhogs, it's personal, because what year was it? It's not this year, wasn't last year, it was the year before that. Oh yeah, the wonderful year 2023. 2023, I come home from work, and I find a groundhog stumbling away from my garden, and this is like, I want to say like late April. That fat bastard decimated all my brassicas. Cabbage, gone. Broccoli, gone. Kale. The bastard went for the kale. Took everything from me. Everything. And that's the only year I've had issues with groundhogs. Never had an issue ever since. Just had that one. Had a full groundhog family move into my backyard. Oh man. I am generally not a fan of guns, but I think that's at the point where guns have to get involved. I would not be okay with a full groundhog family around here. Granted, I don't have... Well, let's see. I have deer. But the deer don't get into my garden. They get into my damn hostas. I don't know why the deer like the hostas, but the deer be illegal where I am, sadly. Oh, no. Oh, man, that's terrible. I would love to destroy some groundhogs. Just because of... One, you're a species that is of least concern status in the eyes of the ICUN. So, you're not endangered or anything like that. Yeah, deer eat everything. But for including spicy food. Okay, I don't know, I didn't know about the deer liking spicy food thing. But for some reason, I'm not surprised. Actually, a fun fact for the North American people, poison ivy. The wonderful, wonderful plant known as poison ivy, Latin name Toxodendron randicus. Poison ivy, as much as it banes the existence of us two-legged folk, is actually high-protein deer fodder. Deer be on the seafood diet, Lamau. Okay. I think that's a good bit. I think I'll do one more of these. I won't do all 4. But yeah, like, that's the biggest thing I get deer into is my hostas. Which is like, hostas are not technically a food crop. Well, they're not technically a food crop. However, though, hosta leaves are indeed edible. And they were edible young. They're kind of like, they're kind of like kale in the sense, or like some other leafy greens where you want to get them while they're young. If you wait until, because like when the leaf first emerges from the rootstock and it's kind of in that coiled state where it's young and supple, that's the best time. That is the absolute best time to get yourself some hosta leaves. And I know that because I really, really like eating wild foods. Which, soon, very soon, at my location on rotation, chestnuts will be in season. And when they're in season, you better believe I'm going to be doing some roasting some chestnuts on an open fire. Definitely be doing that here soonish. It won't be, I know it won't be, well, I won't guarantee next week, because next week for me is looking a little booked. Goodness gracious, we have lost sun. We have lost the sun. And the Dutch oven's due for a turn. Hey now, play nice. Yeah. Will you play nice? Reasonably so. And then grab lid, quarter turn. Oh, and that's the Dutch oven taken care of for a little while. I'm also thinking, let's see. Let me grab. Ooh, rip sun. Yeah. The sun's left us. Right, and I don't personally blame it too much. But, woo! Right, I will say this is something I have actually really enjoyed with the GoPro, is that which actually was an actual thing people were talking about with the product, was it's not super clear in low light, but the colors are really good, and I like the colors. I like it when the colors are right. Because with my last webcam, the embers and coals would be purple. And I have, to this day, I have no idea why they would be that purpley color. But the GoPro does really nice, pretty colors. And I like pretty colors. Okay, so I think we've got a little... I've got a little bit more time on the baked potatoes. I think I've got a little bit more time with the potato skins. I wanted... Let's see. I'm thinking 10 minutes. I think I have 10 minutes on both these guys. Because I got the baked potatoes going first. Then the skins. But the baked potatoes take longer. So that's why I wanted to do that order. So with all that, it is time, as a man, to pass beer, well, for the past time, in the best way possible, and that is crack open a cold one. And you kind of can't see it very much right now, but I've got an Athletic. It's NA beer, because it's still a little... Well, I have a work day tomorrow. Granted, there's definitely been some downsides. Oh, wait. Actually, wait a sec. I can actually shine a little bit more light on this situation. If I can trace a cable. A little cable. And... not the best. But it does let you see the work surface a little bit better. Which, yeah, there you can kind of see it. Gotta crack open the cold one with the boys. It's nothing really all that fancy. I'm just working with stuff I got. I have been wanting, well, actually, I don't have like a good spot to hang it. But for one of these more like getting into like dark times for the campfire cooking streams, I'm thinking about, well, I'm not thinking about, I actually want to do it. I have a Coleman lantern, like the types where they've got like the two little like wick bags on them. You put like a propane canister on the bottom, and then you make it, make the hiss noises, and then you light it. I want to bring one of those on to this, but it's just a matter of prepping it before stream. Because I actually, let's see, I think I started prepping for today an hour and a half early, abouts, and I did fairly well on prep time. Like by the time I got all, ooh, hey geese. Interesting. They're going east. Why east? Okay, whatever. Canadian geese going east. And also, I'm gonna cross my fingers before I say this, but no skunk smells. Because last night when I was working on some stuff in my garage, I had the garage door open because, you know, it's night out, it's cool, the air's nice, lovely. Yeah, I noticed skunk smells at one point. It was like, okay, well, someone got into a fight with something that they did not want to get into a fight with. And I'm not I am definitely not going to be the type of person who's going to pick a fight with the skunk, because I'm going to have a bad time. Okay. So at some point... But yeah, like, skunks are pretty often wild critter I have around here. I also have a raccoon. So I'm kind of sort of under a tree right now. And I got a raccoon in that tree. Hey, no. I need this fork. Need that fork. That fork's gonna be very useful in a couple minutes. But yeah. Ooh, I also at one point in time, I had a possum living under my stoop, well, my steps. Because I've got a set of concrete steps that go up to my front porch. And there was like a little gap underneath the steps. And I had a possum living under there for like, I think a couple months. I haven't noticed any activity recently. But yeah, I would notice whenever I would like step out the front door to check my mail. I would see the possum just dip back under my steps and be like, oh, okay. You're living your best life, and I'm going to live my best life over here. Okay. It has been a fair amount of time. I would reckon almost too much. So, I'm going to get my tongs in here. Whoa. Is it possum or opossum? I think I just call it possum. So let's see here. I'm cooked. Ooh, that slid in pretty nicely. Okay. And then also I just want to crack you open a little bit here. Probably a little warm. And then I'm also going to test it once more. Ooh, yeah. It's a little bit resistive, but then it really goes in. So I think the baked potatoes are done. Face full of ashes. Actually, what I should do, if I'm somewhat reasonably smart, because I really don't want to have too many ashes on my dishware. Okay, so fork is gonna go there. These guys sit and cool for a little bit. So we'll let those cool. And then, I think, set those to the side. And with my handy dandy fire tool manipulator device, I'm gonna take a look at. Now the question is, oh wow, I don't know if those, they smell cooked. The issue is, getting that lid off evenly is going to be quite troublesome. Unless I use this. Here. Oh. You know what? I think I could have done these up a bit more. So, for the skins, actually actually, wait a second. Okay, let's pick this up. And what I want to do is we're going to spread that out. Get ourselves a nice bed of coals going. Yeah. Wow. Woo. Wow. Okay. And there we go. So I'm just gonna really get some heat on that. Because I went a little conservative with... Whew. Oh, hi, Smoke. Hey, Smoke. Okay, well, I threw that on there, and near instantaneously, that... Hey! The lights got turned on. Sweet. I'm not sure how long these lights will stay on, but the lights are on. Okay, well. Thank you for cooperating, security light. Thank you very much. So, let's go ahead. And while the... Ooh. These guys are definitely toasty. Whew. Woohoo! There we go. Place. Yeah. There we go. Let's get these big potatoes cut open. I'm going to be very aggressive with my cut. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. I don't think I got them like super cooked, but you know what? Ooh, you know what? That actually crumbled up nicely. That's a reasonable amount of cook, I say. I think I might just crumble these up or something. But there's deliciousness to be had with potatoes. And that is the thing that they pair with almost best. Of all the things, I think that is the thing we can all agree. Good old butter. Good old-fashioned butter. That's all you really need to make them like good. But I do wanna, can I? Woo! Let's see. So you're looking like you're melting pretty well. Let's see here. So the thing is, I would like to get rest of this butter melted. Well, used up, because I just have like literally this small brick. Granted, I think those 2 bits of butter will be sufficient for those potatoes. So, get that wrapped up. Back in the cold spot. Okay. Then, what we'll do is garnish with a little bit of our lovely green onions from earlier. That I think are very much covered in bacon grease. Let's see, is this crispy bacon? Yeah. I think I'm gonna be really happy with the food I get, which it's like also like one of the other like fun things of like doing like cooking streams is like you get delicious food afterwards, which it's great. As for the big parts of butter, I think I'll mix those in later, but for now I'm just gonna shred the bacon up a little bit just so I get some nice like good little bits of bacon, and then that. Which I'm very thankful that the security light came on. I mean, you get delicious food if you do it correctly. True, 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 true. Very true. And then, the finisher. Cheddar cheese. Sharp cheddar cheese. But yeah, I'm just gonna... Yeah, I haven't had too many failings with... Is it real cheese or fake cheese? This is real cheese. This is, as it says on the package, cut straight from the block. Which it better be real cheese, because I actually care about my cheese a lot. But yeah. I know it's not like other types of what some people will call American cheese. So, I have a baked potato here. It's just... Oh, wait. Wait. I'm missing two things. Two things. Wait, did I move you? Yeah, I did. I moved you. The classics. Good old salt and pepper. As for the salt, I don't use a whole lot, especially with bacon. There's no real reason to use a lot of, but I do love pepper with potatoes. Like, I can have really good mashed potatoes with just potatoes, butter, and pepper. Just those three. Just those three. So yeah. This is gonna be my first bite. I sadly cannot have like campfire food or barbecue food. Ah. Oh. Oh my. Oh gosh, that's good. It's good and it's cooked through. Also, since these potatoes of mine don't have like really they don't have like a super thick skin to them. They're actually, it's very like crisp. It's not like a tough skin. Because some of the supermarket potatoes will have a real tough skin to them. Like the charred or smoky flavor does not agree with my stomach. Ah! I see. Did you punch a bunch of holes before roasting? I didn't do it for the baked potatoes. Partly because they're like, you just gotta like poke holes in it to check as you're like to make sure that you're cooked through. So I didn't do the bunch of holes for that, but for this next bite, I have a little bit of cheese and a little bit of bacon. You can see there. Delicious. Delicious, delicious, delicious. And before I get caught up in the food I have here, I should also worry about the food I have out here. Because reasons. Woo! Okay, very nice and steamy. So what I think I'll do with those is I'll let the heat build up for about 2 more minutes, and then I'll pull the Dutch oven out of my fire. And then once I pull the Dutch oven out of the fire, set it off to the side, let it cool down, and those should be ready. In the meantime, I have deliciousness. Here. There we go. Get a nice slice off. Get a nice like little bacon bit. Man. Grant, I gotta say, I always love it when a cooking stream turns out well. And this has turned out very well. Now I just have to wait for that to be done. I wait for that to be done, pull it out, set it to the side, fix it up. I'll try one, and then after that, I'll probably be wrapping up stream because it's a work night. Now I'm gonna have a bite. Sweet, sweet deliciousness. Also, the butter's melted. So I actually have a pretty good pool of butter around. Here, let me break you up. I got a nice pool of butter over here. That all can just like sit in for a little bit. Okay. So I'm gonna try and fetch this with this. I need to get, at some point I need to get a better like fire poker stick, but that's later and this is now, honest. Nah, I don't like the reach. It's way too much of a reach. And whoa! Crow! And I'll do. Wow! There we go. Got those cooked up nicely. Got those cooked up very nicely. That. Let's get a little bit of campfire going. Here. Woo! And removing the Dutch oven from the fire has caused us to lose the magic light. We have lost the magic light, which I do wish to bring magic light back. So, we'll see if heating up the tea kettle actually brings the light back. Because the way motion sensing, a lot of these motion sensing lights work, they actually work off heat signatures versus like actual like motion. So I think last I saw you, you were yeah, I put you under a hot thing. That's what I did. Man, Sugi, you are absolutely fantastic at foobarring yourself. Okay, there we go. Go. My handy dandy clipper. My handy dandy grabber. Grab a few of these guys. We'll start prepping some skins. Because I actually want to do this while they're still warm. They're still nice, warm, crispy, all that fun stuff. So, let's grab crispy bacon. Let's get some bacon bits going here. Now I probably could have fried this bacon up a little bit better to get a little bit more finer of like various bacon bits, but you know what? I'm gonna be happy how this turns out anyway, so I'm not gonna worry about that too much. Then gather up some green onions, dress the green onions, man, and ha ha! I brought you back. Put myself in a very awkward and funny spot to bring the camera back, but well, to bring the light back so you can actually see the food. But yeah, you can see the food, you can see the setup, and you can, most importantly, see a cozy fire. Cozy fire is a very important aspect of what we're doing here. And with all that, I've got one last athletic. Wait, no, I need to have. There we go. Cheers. And I gotta say, turning down the brightness on the GoPro actually did really good things for the battery life tonight. I'm still at 50%. Oh man. That be some good stuff. That be good stuff. Very happy. Very, very, very happy. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Are these? Ooh, yeah, they're nice and crispy. Oh, I can't see the bottom. Nope, I have to wait for those to cool down. So, while I wait. Okay. Okay, I could have sworn I heard something click at me. It was at eye level. But yeah, sounds like I got something rustling some grass near me. Ooh. Ooh. Man, I love the ambience. Okay. So we've got a good amount of melted cheese on this. How much food are you making? I have 2 baked potatoes. I've got 3 skins on my plate, and then I've got 3 more in the Dutch oven. So, a fair amount of food, but this is also by and far the biggest meal I made today. Because for breakfast, I had chia seeds with tea, and I had, well, actually did a work thing for lunch, and the main lunch items were hamburgers and hot dogs, and I wasn't really feeling the hamburgers or hot dogs, so I just grabbed 2 bags of chips, and that was my lunch. And then when I got home from work, I had some chips and salsa. So this is my big meal for the day. I hope all your cooking streams go well. I mean, I've gotten better at them. I do have a ways to go with mastering Dutch oven and also mastering bread. Bread has been easily the biggest challenge for me. The biggest part of it is my my little stand, my little like table here, and I primarily do a lot of my prep on. It's just a piece of plywood on cinder blocks, and it's on cinder blocks because cinder blocks don't burn. So it's really hard for me to have like a nice stable surface to really work bread on. So bread's always been a challenge that I would like to rise to. Just haven't gotten to that point yet. So let's give one of these potato skins here a taste before my fingers fall off. Ooh. Oh wow. Okay. So I probably didn't have the baking heat high enough for getting them like super crispy. It's not super crispy, but it's definitely delicious. And I can live with delicious. They're just still a little bit warm to the touch. Granted, I have once again had a recent lesson in metal over fire gets hot. What's the 6p fit? So I have a never watched a live stream on YouTube before. Oh, okay. But I have an ember screen that goes over this, and I set it on the fire pit once while I had much less fire than I do right now. I grabbed it with my fingers, and that fire, that just little bit of fire was enough to make that metal very, very hot, to the point where at one point I had a blister on this thumb here because it has like a little bit of the top has like a little bit of a ring on it, and I grabbed it by the ring to pick it up and immediately dropped it because it immediately burned me. Do you do campfire cooking often? Fairly well, often-ish. I will not be doing it next week because I'm pretty sure at this point I'm only doing one stream next week, and I'm going to start making some apple crates? Oh, no. I just realized I was 10 minutes behind. Oh wow. Weird. I don't have any drop frames on my side. I don't see anything concerning. But I will say, with going into the fall season, I will probably be doing this at least 3 times a month. It's about the most I can guarantee. No, it's just me, mobile YouTube dumb. Yeah. That be the internet. That be the internet. Okay. Whew. Okay. Actually, no, we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this one potato skin. Wow. Good day, good day, good day. Whew. I was watching in my PC, but makes my room extremely hot and my AC broken. Oh, man. Yeah, I feel that. Actually, well, so my computer that I actually run these streams on is actually in my basement. Partly because the basement area is where I do most of, well, my garage is actually part of my basement. And that's like the main shop for, ooh, oy, oy. But yeah, thankfully having the PC in a separate room, well, I actually put it in a separate room from the garage because of how much sawdust. Basement always cold. Yeah, well, for the most part. My basement is sitting around 70 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So it's definitely cooler, but it's not like cold. But we'll see how the year goes. On Monday, I got what's called a heat pump water heater. What a heat pump water heater does is it takes air in, pulls the heat out, and then takes that heat and puts it into the water. 70 is still too high for me. And the air that comes out of the heat pump water heater is essentially AC air because it's taking heat from the air around the heat pump water heater and dumps it into the water. I've had it for, well, it got installed on Monday. I've taken a couple showers with it, and it has so far been great. My basement will get cold in wintertime. Wintertime, it'll get down to 62, which as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy with that. The issue is if I try to start seedlings, pepper seedlings do not like 62 degrees. So I actually have to use a heat mat to get my pepper seedlings going. I haven't had issues with other plants, but peppers specifically, they like warmer temperatures, but peppers are native to parts of Latin America and South America, so I'd say that all checks out as far as I'm concerned. So, I have wonderful, delicious food that I'm going to tear into. So, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up stream for tonight. I would like to say big thanks to everyone who's tuned in, especially to Dad's Old Shop and Kuma. Thank you very much. And yeah, I will go ahead and plug the next stream. Next stream will be Saturday, where I will be brewing beer with homegrown hops. And I'll be at 4 p.m. EDT. And let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna get into stuffing my face. I need to remember to use the correct account next time. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And yeah, so I hope everyone out there has a great rest of your day, evening, night, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.